Okay.
Hi, and welcome. We're the Weasley sisters. I'm Jessica, also known as Naturally Nitty, and this is episode 235.
And I'm Allena, also known as Star Knits. This is November 29th, and this is our bi-monthly podcast. If you're a first-time watcher, welcome. If you're a returning listener/watcher, thanks for coming back.
So grab your knitting, pull up a chair, and craft along with us.
So, do you have any mojo?
Kinda. Um, I talked about it last week, but I didn't bring it. I finished Chloe's sweater a while ago, actually. Um, but I don't think it was here. I didn't have it. She wore it that day, so I couldn't show it. I don't think so. Anyways, I didn't show it on here, did I?
I don't think so.
Anyways, I showed pictures. So it's basically a sweatshirt. She's worn it a lot. It's pilling a little bit. I could use my gleaner and depill it. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's got the pockets. It's got the zipper. I'm really happy with how the zipper installation went. I have some ribbon on the back there. You can't see it at all on the front, like stitching on there. And yeah, and then it has a hood too.
That's cool.
Yeah. Turned out great. She likes it. It's lovely, and I'm happy. It fits her. It's a little big on her. Not big, but roomy. Has room to grow, which I was a little worried midway through when I was making it. I was like thinking maybe I should have made the next size up because they're growing and always getting bigger. But no, I was happy with how it turned out. I think that's pretty much all my mojo. I finished those cowls and I actually wove in the ends, but you've seen them, so I'm not going to show them.
Oh, well, I'm going to show all of the cowls that I made because I made
do that.
And I have like 3 or 4 more to go. So, cowls galore. So I had 2 of these, and this one of them, like I forget, it was.
Are you thinking of needles? It called for 15s, but I think you used 13s, right?
Yeah. Well, and so like the skeins are varied. These I used all the same yarn, and the same pattern and the same needles, but some of the yarn skeins was short. Like one of these was short, and I had to take from the other one and use it to bind off. Like that, it was like super short. So I had these 2, and then these 2, like one of the skeins was perfect, and the other one I had a ton left over. Same pattern, same needles, same yarn, just like the variance in the skeins. Then, this one was fine. I just, so I have this one, and this one, and so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 cowls done. I have like 3 or 4 more to do.
Okay.
So these 2, same colorway and everything.
One's more yellowy.
What?
One's more yellowy, or?
Yeah. Exact same colorway, totally different. And like one of these, I also had to take from the other one to finish it off. You can't really tell. So we're good. But again, and can I tell you how much I hate? It's acrylic yarn. There should not be knots in it.
No.
At all. Some of them had like 2 or 3 knots. And I hate having knots in my yarn anyway. Like when you buy a skein,
right,
you should not have knots, and it really pisses me off when it's like Noro and
The colors.
start in the same color. I don't like Noro anyway, so I don't work with it much. But when I've had it, the couple of times I've used it, there have been knots. And I don't care if the industry standard is you can have up to 4 knots and it still be considered a skein.
What?
Yeah, I forget where I read that. So, but it pisses me off when there's knots. It pisses me even more off when there's knots in acrylic yarn. Like this Woolies Thick and Quick that I used for this hat had a knot in it. I just did like one of those Fisher, those knot things, and just have it in there. So I don't even care. It's a gift, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I made this.
I don't agree with that statement. There should not be allowed to be 4 knots. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, up to 4 knots, I guess, is the industry standard. Like I've had skeins where there's been like 3, and it pisses me off. It really pisses me off though. It just makes me angry. So yeah, so I have this hat that I finished. It's for one of the guys.
I like it. Did you follow pattern or just?
Yeah. Don't ask me what the pattern is.
I asked Gabe if he wanted me to make gifts for his youth group leaders because I'm making some for the girls leaders. And he's like, yeah, sure. Like you can do hats or something. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was thinking he'd be weird and like wouldn't want to hand out gifts, but he does. So now I'm like, oh, I got to go get some more yarn and do that.
So
cute. So maybe I'll do that. A big chunky hat.
Yeah, that was the Woolies Thick and Quick. It's like knitting with logs though, like using tenon, like yeah. I have 3 more to make of them. So I also finished weaving one scarf. So
awesome.
The other day I sat down and I was like, it's the end of November. I feel like making things. I'm gonna weave everyone in my Bible study a scarf.
Which is like 12, right?
There's 7.
Oh, 7. So she like texts me or Snapchats me like talking about this, and I'm like, before Christmas, because it's like almost a month away at that point in time. I'm like, do you have time to do that?
So I picked out a bunch of sock yarn, which I forgot to bring it over here. Well, it started out, I was going through my sock yarn stash because I had some that weren't in. I have a Rubbermaid tote behind my bed that holds it, and it was full. And I had some stuff that I picked up over the year that I haven't logged into Ravelry, and I hadn't put in my tote. So I was taking pictures and logging them into Ravelry, and I'm going to show you the pictures because it's a lot. So I went through and added everything into Ravelry.
You're so good about that.
So if you can see, there's all of these pictures. There's a ton of yarn that I didn't have added in, and I'm on a yarn diet. But anyway, so I was going through my sock yarn. Back to my finished project. So I was going through my sock yarn, and I found some yarn, a lot, because I have some. And I was like, I'm going to weave some scarves for the people at my Bible study. And so I did them, and it takes me maybe a couple of days to do them. And I don't know. I'm definitely over targeting my goal. So I finished one, and I have one on the loom and one on this rigid heddle loom, which I don't think the one that's on this rigid heddle loom is going to turn out, but we'll see when I take it off. Okay. But yeah, so this is just a plain weave. So for the warp, I used green sock yarn from Geek Chic. And then the weft is, someone gave me some Red Heart, Heart and Soul, I think it's called. And it's like a self-striping yarn.
Okay.
That for the...
I think it turned out cool.
Yeah, so it just like... Yeah. So I hope it looks... And then I got one of those doohickeys that twist.
Yeah. Aren't they so much fun?
Yeah.
Fringe twisters.
Look up how to use it because I tried to use it, and that thing hurts if you get it on your finger.
The clippy.
They are hurtful. But yeah, so I finished this, and I have, like I said, I have one on that loom, and I have one on this loom. But yeah, so that's what I finished.
Going crazy. That's awesome.
About works in progress. I'll just keep going. So yeah, I have on this old rigid heddle, which is a Spears 4 loom. I'm weaving this. Oh, it looks so much better on the TV.
It'll probably, I mean, I know you're not happy with it because you said you can't get it too tight, but it'll probably even out once you get it off and like wash it up. It might not be the perfect thing, but
yeah, that's why I'm saying we'll see.
How wide are yours? Like a foot?
Well, I was aiming for not like 9 or 10 inches, but I put on too many strings. And after I figured that out, it was too late because I had already cut it. So, yeah. Okay. But so I'm using 2 sock yarns, and I like went into it. See how I faded into it? Yeah. So after I'm doing it the same fade, I'm going to do the same sort of fade as I'm weaving. Like I'm getting to the middle of the green, so then I'm going to start adding in the purple.
That's awesome.
Do that. That's my goal. So I hope it turns out okay. And then I'm doing like herringbone like pattern. Not really. I don't know what it's called. But I warped in order from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that, like a zigzag. I strung up the heddles that way.
It's crazy cool texture is what it is.
But it's like I don't know if I'm not like packing it in hard enough. You know, like I'm still learning this weaving thing, so I don't know. But I'm trying to find a picture of that too.
Usually you don't want to do it too tight. I mean, you don't want it super loose, but I think I did mine too tight sometimes. You want to be able to see usually you want to be able to see the warp yarn.
Well, this one that's on my loom, I'm almost done with it. I just had to wind up some extra
of the warp or weft
on the thing. So that's what it looks like. So if you can see, it's like zigzaggy. So that turned out pretty cool. I'm hoping it'll like even out because there's some like as it's being pulled onto the bottom bar, it's like some of the picks are like lengthening out. So I don't know. You know, but this is like a really good experiment and learning how to weave properly and just learning my floor loom, which I'm loving it. It's so much fun. And having that boat shuttle is the best thing ever. Like it, you know, they're a little more expensive. They're like $30 to $50.
I'm a little jealous of it. It looks cool.
They're so it's so like I feel like awesome doing it. So that's what I'm working on. I'm also working on, I have, like I said, I have 3 more cowls, but I'm kind of sick of knitting cowls, so I stopped. And then I'm knitting, I'm working on the second hat. And so I'm just on the ribbing.
Very cool.
So that's what I'm working on. And I have this attached to my purse, so when we're like out and about, I have something to knit on. But like I said, I was sick of the cowls, but I do have 3 more that I need to make. And 3 more hats because we forgot one of the teachers. So I have to go buy more yarn. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I just added, like I said,
my weaving. So for weaving, I went through all my sock yarn and I pulled out like coordinating yarns. And I pulled out like 14 different skeins of yarn, and then I fit all the new stuff I put in there, and it still kind of had to be shoved in there. So I have a lot of sock yarn. This is one way to use it. Because obviously I'm not knitting socks anymore, but whatever.
It happens.
But speaking of socks, the Slytherin Sock Syndicate, is it this sock syndicate of Slytherin? I don't know. I think it's the Slytherin Sock Syndicate. They have, for the past 2 years, they have Advent socks. And then this year they have one again. So you start on December 1st, you cast on in your colors that you want, and you just use your sock scraps and you make these really cool like Advent socks, and you knit like 24 rows every day until Christmas, and then you have a finished sock.
Huh.
So awesome. I saw Cattykins post about it, and I like clicked on the link, and then I went and I put them all in my queue. But I thought that was like such a fun thing.
Patterns, or
you save the patterns. You can get the patterns the last 2 years as a PDF. So I downloaded them and I put them in my queue. So the first year was called House Elf Scrap Socks, and that's what they look like. And then the second year was the Castle Curriculum Scrap Socks. So you're using your sock scraps because you know when you knit socks, you have at least
right
a bit amount left. So this is the third one, is the Fantastic Beast scraps. And then they have it in the Slytherin Sock Syndicate. Like you can knit along starting on December 1st. So I'm like pondering that, but then I was like looking at all of my
But you have a lot of weaving to do and hat and towel knitting to do.
But I thought that was a cool idea because just a little bit every day. It's the same concept with the spin 15 a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you knit 24 rows of a sock row a day, you're going to have a finished pair of socks in a month, which is why I love knitting socks. I just haven't done it in a while because I just don't do it. So if I start doing it, anyways.
Right.
So I'm pondering that because I do have a lot of sock yarn scraps, but I use them for my sock yarn blanket. Maybe I should do a sock blanket square a day or something like that. And then I will finish my blanket in this century. But that's all my whips. What are your whips?
I am currently, since you talked about weaving, I'm going to talk about weaving. Look, I'll show you guys right here. Like, I'll move this.
Oh, I forgot. We have a weaving section, but we normally
do
put it in. So we'll just.
I warped up my loom, and I'm making dish towels for a gift. So I just started that. I just started the actual weaving this morning. It took me like all day to warp it up. I hate warping, but I will say, here, let me get my right. With how I have a warping board that I use, and I attach it to my table over here, and it makes warping it up so much easier than it used to be. I used to like walk back and forth and like have like a very long thing where you like, because I use direct warping where you put it on the back apron rod first.
Which I'm not sure if I can do that with my loom, but
here, I'll show you this picture. So my loom is like here, and then I have the warping board there, and then you measure out like which bars to put it around to like get the desired length of warp that you want. And then here it is where it's like a little bit, it's all full pretty much.
I use a warping board as well, but I do have a question. How do you get it tight enough on the back beam then, wound on? Do you wind it onto the front?
When you wind it?
Back?
Wait, say that again?
How do you get it so it's tight enough on the back, wound onto the back, nice and tight?
So, okay, so you put it all on there, and then you take it off and you cut the end so they're all ends, like not looped. And then you slowly wind it onto the back apron rod, and you pull tension every now and then, and you wind it on. And I use like sometimes you use paper or whatever to like separate the layers of weaving or the yarn or warp, whatever, so it doesn't get all tangled. But I use these old blind things that I cut down to length. So then I put these in, and they're already kind of curved, because they're those plastic
Yeah.
Blinds for your windows. But yeah, I cut them down so they're the perfect length. And then I put those in every so often so that the warp stays all nice. And then I put them in, after you have the cloth woven. And I put them in between there too. Because I've tried the paper thing, and like mine would always get crooked, and it was such a pain in the butt, and I hated it.
Yeah. Or like.
Yeah, that. Oh, these fall, like once you like tighten it or whatever, they like fall out. So I mean, or not fall out, but like when you're adjusting it, it's a little pain. But yeah, have a section of them and use them. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm weaving that. What else? And so I use this crochet cotton.
Cool.
For the warp, and then for the weft, I'm using just a cone of sugars and cream, or is it peaches and cream? I forget which one it is.
Depends on where you get it, Walmart or Joanne.
Walmart, because it was cheaper. And add the colors that I wanted. Anyways, so that's what I'm using for that. So then I'm doing some little gifts for the kids. I don't have one finished because I need to go to the store and get some marbles. But I saw this idea on Instagram. This lady was making a bunch of bracelets out of sock yarn scraps. And I don't know how many she actually cast on. I did 16 stitches around, and you make like a tube. And I have a provisional cast on, so I'll seam it together. But first I'm going to put a marble inside, and it's kind of like a fidget type thing. So then there's going to be a marble on the inside of this tube, and the kids can like wear them to school or wherever and like take it off and sit there and play with it and push the marble around when they're bored or whatever. And anyways, I forget who it was on Instagram, was making a bunch to give to kids in school. I think she worked with.
I saw that too.
I thought it was the coolest thing.
Of it. Was it Cakewalk Queen?
No, I forget. Anyways, so this one's gonna be for Trubin. This one's for Leah. Purples. Well, there's blue too. And then this is for Gabe. And then this one's for Chloe. But I just need to buy the marbles and then graft them all together, or like Kitchener them all together.
That's really cool.
But I thought it was a really cool idea because those, fidget spinners and those cubes, those things are so loud or not loud, but like annoying. And they're kind of like banned from schools. Like kids aren't allowed to use them. But I know Gabe for sure always fidgets with stuff. I don't think he's whatever, but like, I think he could benefit from having it just to have something to like mess with.
I know.
And then they can wear it as a bracelet, and like a teacher's not going to take it away from them. You know what I mean?
Well, I know for myself, like I always have knitting with me because like I can concentrate better if I'm knitting. Like especially like at church, I can concentrate and understand what they're saying better if I'm knitting. Because if I'm not knitting, I'm making lists in my mind and thinking of what I need to do today. If I'm knitting, like I can like shut that part of my brain down and like pay attention. So I'm sure kids are the same way.
Exactly. But I thought it was like a really neat idea. And they can either take it off and play with it or sit there and push the marble around their wrist, whatever. I thought it was cool. So I wanted to make it, and they go really fast. But yeah, like I said, I need to go buy marbles. I think I'm going to go to the dollar store and see if they have a pack that I can get. I've been meaning to do it for like a week now, and I still haven't gone. Whatever. But other than that, I haven't really done much. My Hermione sweater, I put kind of in a timeout because I think I'm going to rip out the sleeves again.
Mine is also in a timeout, but we're not going to talk about it because it's still because I'm having to start that whole thing over. But no problem.
You spin me right round?
You do spin me right around. I finished my newt.
Yay!
Which I didn't think I was going to finish it because I didn't even do a 50% because I couldn't get there. So let me find all the stuff. I have all these stupid towels everywhere.
I'm so happy for you. You haven't finished a newt in a while, so I'm very excited for you.
I know. So I dyed the yarn, which I showed you guys last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sampling. I was in the process of sampling the fin. So I did a Navajo ply on this. And
Like it.
really fluffed up after washing it. Like, look how fluffy that is. It's like nine wraps per inch. So that's like
chunky or worsted.
It looks kind of more Aran than chunky.
Okay.
But according to the wraps per inch guide, yeah, it's a chunky. But it like in person, it's not that thick. But it is so soft and squishy. So I out of 3 ounces, I got 140 yards. It's a 3-ply, and I love it. It's so soft and it's just fun. So this was the fin fleece that I sampled, and you can tell that it was like carded because there's still like schlups, but it's kind of like a nice, cool, tweedy looking yarn.
Yeah.
And then the Shetland, I sampled. I did like in the Fleece and Fiber source book, they had just a 2-ply sample. I don't know where my card went for the other one. But so for the 3-ply, so I wanted to do a 3-ply and a 2-ply. So this is the 3-ply, and I got about 10 wraps per inch on this one, and this is just 58 yards. It was about an ounce and a quarter of an ounce together that I spun for this one, and then the rest of the 3 ounces was here, so like almost 2 ounces. For the 2-ply, and I think I like them both, and they also fluffed up really good. And the Shetland is like a nice, sturdy, really nice wool. And I was looking at the Fleece and Fiber source book, and they said you can get it really thin, and it's like a really sturdy wool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it was really nice to work with, and it turned out really fabulous.
Really cool.
I don't know where the 2-ply card went because I didn't like tie them on like I normally do. So it's around here somewhere, probably under all the towels, but I can't how many yards I got. I think it was like 100 and something, and I got 12 reps per inch with the 2-ply. So yeah, lots of fun finishing my nude and turning it in. And I turned in 5 classes. I'm hoping to finish one of these scarves today or tomorrow and turn the last scarf in for World Domination of the Slytherin house.
You are on a roll and rocking, and very, very awesome.
But yeah, so now we're at a weaving thing, but we already talked about weaving, so blah blah blah.
No, I did not talk about my spinning.
Oh, okay.
I also finished my newt, and my last spin was this.
Oh, that's pretty.
Corgi Hill Farms. This stuff is so soft. It wasn't bad to spin, but it was like so slippery. It's 50% baby camel, 50% Tussa silk. Like,
that's why it was slippery.
It's so soft. I don't even know what to make with it because it's so soft.
How many yards do you have?
400 yards. I Navajo plied it. But yeah, it's really soft and silky and lovely. But yeah, it turned out great. I think I like it. Maybe not my colors per se. They're very muted and like greens and purplies, but muted. I don't know. But it's so soft. Like I can't get over it. Yeah, so that's it. That finished up my new, which was fun because it was the different plies: a single, a 2-ply, a 3-ply, a 4-ply, a cable ply, and then the Navajo ply. It was fun. But yeah, That's it. It's always fun.
That's cool. It looks kind of gray.
It is. It's got like grayish tones in it. It's like teal, purple, but like
Muddied.
very muted out, grayish. I don't know. Muddied.
Yeah.
Whatever. Still nice, but whatever.
Cool.
So yeah, now we can move on.
Okay. Sorry. So, of course, I'm sewing. I have a big bulk order that I'm working on currently that I'm trying to finish up. I took a couple of days off around Thanksgiving because it was Thanksgiving. Addison was home, and you know, it's nice to take time off. But yeah, so now I'm back at it. Sewing.
Very cool. I have not been sewing anything.
I'm debating if I want to make pajama pants this year because I didn't buy any of the fabric, and I'm kind of, I don't know.
I already made them, though. I think I want to get shirts and make them their shirts for them because the kids like it when there's shirts.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling lazy as well, and I don't really want to.
So yeah, but binging. Have you been binging on anything?
Well, yes. So because of Black Friday through Monday, Hulu had their sale on like their cheap version of whatever. It was 99 cents a month for a whole year. So $12 for Hulu. And we had been debating doing that.
Same here.
For a while because we got rid of Sling TV last month, and I've been debating doing Hulu, and I was like, I don't really need it, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw on the last day, on Monday, I saw that it was 99 cents. I'm like, dude, I can't pass that up, at least for a year. You know, it's $12. It's nothing.
Well, Andy said too, because I was like, I don't know if I want another subscription.
Right. But I'm so excited because I got to catch up on Grey's Anatomy, which I wasn't able to watch because the new episodes weren't anywhere. Because Sling didn't have it. They don't do ABC, I don't believe, which is probably because Hulu has it. Now that I found that out. So, and there's a couple other shows. I want to rewatch Buffy.
Yes.
And Netflix got rid of that a few years ago, so I was sad that I could never rewatch that. So I have a plan to watch that. And then I was excited for the kids. There's like all the old 90s shows, like the old Full House and Family Matters and what else? I forget. Like those 90s shows. So I'm excited for them to be able to watch something new. And then, yeah. So I caught up on Grey's Anatomy, which was only like 8 episodes of the new season, and then I started watching The Good Doctor. Have you heard of that show?
So for the Grey's Anatomy, that's the current season then, huh?
Yeah, it's the current season.
Oh, okay. So
I don't think they have back episodes. The old episode, they're on Netflix, like the first 14.
Right. I'm on like the 3rd or 4th season, or maybe I don't remember.
I've watched the whole thing. Yeah, so it's like season 15. But yeah, I'm excited about that.
I was excited that they had ER.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Though I remember somewhat watching that when we were younger.
It was me.
But yeah, so
Andy was excited for Seinfeld, but I hate that show, so
I really got into that.
I have been on Hulu too, watching Handmaid's Tale. Oh my goodness.
Good.
Seriously binge watched like 9 episodes the other day. I had to iron and I was like, Hulu. And so I watched that, but I've been binge watching like I started watching that Elementary show, which I love Sherlock Holmes. I love the Sherlock from the BBC, but I do like this incarnation of Sherlock and Holmes, Sherlock and Watson. Watson's a girl. It's just pretty cool. And then I started watching Sleepy Hollow, which is pretty cool. Like in the last season of Bones, which I still have a couple of episodes to watch in that, they have a crossover with the people from Sleepy Hollow. So that's pretty cool. And that's why I was like, oh, I need to watch that. Because I remember when it came out, and so but I never had local TV, so I couldn't watch it like ABC, you know.
Yeah. I watched that when it was on TV. Well, I'm probably not current with it, but I watched the first 2 seasons.
Well, it's on Hulu, so you can watch it again.
Mm.
So, and then I put in my queue, um, Timeless, which I remember when it came out, we had cable. Like this girl like travels in time,
Huh.
and I remembered for like maybe 2 episodes to go on there and watch it on their app, but then I forgot after that. So it's kind of cool just to get the whole season.
Yeah.
Um, and Bella is excited because they have the TNT librarians, like they have all the episodes. Like
Oh.
on Sling on Demand, they have only like this past season's episodes, so we can go back and rewatch from the beginning the librarian show, which is kind of cool. Um, so we've been watching that with Bella, and
What's
then
that about?
so there was this TNT movie with Noah Wiley. Noah, is that his last name?
Somewhat. Yeah, I think I.
And he is this college guy, and then he becomes the librarian of the Metropolitan, and he like basically like does magic. So they made a TV show. There's like 3 really B like made for TV movies of the librarian with him, and then they made this TV series where he's in kind of in a few episodes. Um, but they're like other people are also the librarians, like they're librarians in training or whatever. But it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Um, fun stuff. Um, yeah, I was excited about that. We
Yeah,
finished
I just.
Parks and Rec.
Okay.
It's so good. I think I want to watch it again.
Really? Maybe I'll have to
It
watch
was
it.
so funny. Like there were so many funny parts. Like The Office is funny, and I like The Office, and Andy like loves The Office. But with The Office, like you kind of laugh sometimes, or you cringe because it's so cringeworthy. But with Parks and Rec, it's so funny. Like I was like every time I watched it, I was just cracking up. It's so good. But yeah.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, there's lots of new shows. I'm excited for just having a new variety to pick from.
I haven't been reading much of stuff on that. I started after last time we podcasted, you said that Accidental Werewolf was good, so I started on that because I finished the Swords and Scoundrels that I was reading, and moved on to there. But I haven't really been listening to much, which I need to. So I'm almost done with that Accidental Werewolf, and then I'll move on to something else.
Okay. I what did I listen to before this? Oh, so I was listening to the Kitty Norval series, and I got hung up. I don't have one. I forget which one it is. There's like book. I think it's book 9 or 10. I don't have, but then I have a couple after it, so I just stopped. Oh. Anyways, so then I was like, okay, what do I listen to now? So I don't know. I was just kind of looking through stuff, and I found, or you suggested the Coffee House Mysteries. I don't know what they're exactly called. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
By Cleo Coyle. So I just started on the first one of that.
I'm going to drink like all the coffee.
And I'm in the middle. Oh well, yeah, I know. And like, so she's like talking about stuff, and I'm like, I don't store my coffee like that. Like maybe I should figure out how. Like she just like gives all these different tips and stuff about brewing and whatever.
If you get the book, they have coffee recipes in it.
Well, that's cool. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm like halfway through it.
And that's like a super easy beach like read. So it's like quick and fun, but there's a mystery in there.
It's entertaining enough. I listened to it while I was warping my loom actually, so it kept me occupied while I was doing the mindless task of warping, which is not fun. But yeah. So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, that's about it.
So yeah.
I'm like wanting to find a really good, I don't know, series to get into, but I just
I have been waffling in the same. So
I was looking through some of the ones I have. What is it?
Hearn?
Kevin something. And there's like, what?
Yeah, the Iron Druid Chronicles.
Yeah. Are they good?
Yeah, I stopped at one of them.
But I don't think I have the first one. So there needs to be like, authors need to have like clear cut, this is the reading order that you need to read this in.
Because I used to go to Goodreads.
Oh, well, I Googled it and like there's like different things and there's short stories and then blah blah blah. So like I started listening to one, it was like a short story.
Not an audiobook. Like I think I read it.
Okay, because like and then I couldn't find the first book and I was like,
but I think I borrowed it from the library and read it because they didn't have it as an audiobook. So
okay, so maybe I'll do that. But so then that's why I jumped over to the coffee house ones because I was like, screw that. I'm not gonna like.
I think that's why I stopped with the Kevin Hearn ones because they were really good. But they didn't have all of them as audiobooks, so I think that's why I stopped.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just like, I want something good again. I don't know.
I just downloaded this one audiobook called I forget what, but I'm gonna read it because it's someone. It's like about dragons or something. Tremarine something. But there was like 4 or 5 of them, maybe 6.
That sounds fun.
I'm only looking for other ones. Like sometimes I don't particularly like certain genres, so we'll see. It had like almost 4 stars on Goodreads, so
it's hard to find. I don't know. And then like sometimes like people say how much they love something, and then you're kind of like, meh, it's okay. I don't know.
That's me with the Outlander book.
I think I read the first 2, or maybe I didn't even finish the second one of that.
I read the first one and I was like, no, thank you. And everyone was like, it's so awesome and I loved it and it's science fiction, but it was not. It was like historical fiction, and it was annoying. But that's my personal opinion. So and
I didn't mind it, but I obviously didn't love it enough to like continue.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes you read books like that, and I'm just like, I'm not into the whole like I have to read them all, but like, yeah. So like I told you, the Temperance Brennan ones, those are good. They're very sciencey, and you feel really smart reading them because they like tell you about science.
Well, that's another thing. Like, there's so many of them. Like, I need to figure out which one. I need to figure out the order so I can make sure to put it on my iPad. Like, I was going to, and I like clicked some, and then I was like, I don't even have the first one on here. So then I was like, I'll just do the coffee ones. Those sound fun.
Yeah. I usually go to Goodreads, and then you type in. I think the first one in that is Grave Secrets. I think. But that was a good series, but I already read it. And it's totally different than the Bones TV show. She's totally different.
Okay. Well, shoot, I was going to ask something.
And what other series? Oh, and I've started reading the alphabet ones by Sue Grafton, and those are good, but I have to take them in turn slowly because they're written in like the 80s, early 90s. So like there's stuff that is happening that I'm like, this is boring. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Crap, I was gonna say something, I totally forgot. Oh well.
But like there's that, you know, so there's like that.
Oh no, I was gonna ask for the coffee house ones, they go in order? Do they like build upon each other, or is it like just different stories?
No, it's the same lady.
Okay.
And her daughter and her ex-husband, and like it's all centered on the coffee house.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, and I'm actually waiting on the last 2 in that series because they have like a long wait list. So.
Oh. Okay.
I forget how far I got in it. Maybe the 6th book.
Yeah, I looked it up. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, with longer series, it's hard to stay interested, or sometimes the author, they'll write in a different direction. Like we were talking about the Kate Daniels books. Mm-hmm. Like book, the direction they went in was horrible, and I hated it. You know, so it's kind of hard for series to keep going and not like
piss you off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. If anyone has like any good suggestions, I personally like urban fantasy. So with a strong female lead, like not like I had to be told to read those Kitty Norval ones, and then even then I like still.
The first book, I wasn't sold on it. Like halfway through, I was like, "This is stupid," and you're like, "Just finish it." So I was like, "Okay." It got better, but then I don't know. It's not my favorite, but they kept me interested.
Yeah, and the thing is with that, like the reason I think I petered out was just because I just don't. She's just I just don't. Yeah, I'm not like liking her, but someone told me it was really good and I should read it. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what other series.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I've been looking for other series. I have a couple that I've been looking for. So.
All right.
So let's go on to random randomness, which I didn't write anything in random randomness.
I didn't either. We've been kind of busy. The kids are doing, like, the girls are in cheer, and Truby's now in basketball instead of football, and
Bella's in basketball.
Gabe's doing night school, which is just like summer school, but not. I don't know. So we're like busy. Like after, like right now, I'm during the day I'm home alone, but I am running back and forth to all these places like all the time, and it's crazy. Also, so this is just crazy. Gabe got a ride home from a friend. It was like the first time like a kid drove him home. Like this is like a first for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no. So we're just busy after school during the week all the time, and it's crazy. And Christmas is almost like a month away. Oh, it is a month away. It's like 27 days.
It's less
down because Leah loves Christmas, and and in honor of her, I'm wearing my Kool-Aid Santa shirt today. But yeah, so I don't know. We're just kind of getting ready for that. She's also very mad that we don't have lights outside yet. She's like, it's almost 25 days till Christmas, and we don't have lights on the house. I'm like, sorry. But yeah, not much else is going on.
Well, not much else is going on for us too. Like we've been also busy and working. Madison's at college. He came home for Thanksgiving, which was really nice to see her. Bella is playing basketball, and so like I've been working, and then they come home and do homework, and I make dinner, all that stuff. So yeah,
fun. Yeah.
But I think her first game is coming up actually, so that'll be fun to see.
Yeah,
because there's no boys team this year. There not enough boys wanted to play, so there's no boys team, which is kind of nice. So it makes for like a shorter evening because they would have the girls game and then the boys game.
Oh yeah.
So that should be interesting. But it also means like because it used to be like the parents would work the concession stand during the boys game, and then the boys' parents would work during the girls' game. So now there's no boys team. So the only parents there are the girls' parents. So like we're gonna all work it. It's not a big deal because I don't really know much about basketball, anyways. Eat from the concession stand, so it's not like a huge deal. But whatever. But yeah, so Christmas is coming, and I'm actually kind of feeling it, if that makes sense. Like the past couple of years, I didn't want anything to do with Christmas, but see our little tree because we have Bunny City over there where our tree used to be.
Yeah.
And so we bought a small like light tree. It's that big. It's on a little table that I put a thing over, and I have my lights in front of it. So, but yeah, it's you know, I plugged it in because, you know, and Andy's been playing Christmas music since Thanksgiving. Like I made him wait till Thanksgiving, but I was gone one night and they watched a bunch of Christmas movies already.
Oh, we've been watching Christmas movies since Halloween. I think we watched Elf. I think the day after Halloween or something. Like it was like we started early, which I've been in the festive mood early too, so it's
So
good.
I make them wait till after Thanksgiving because that's just my thing. But we did watch on Netflix. They have that Christmas Chronicles with
Yeah, pretty good.
yeah, we watched it. It was pretty good. There's like the Christmas calendar with Bonnie, or what's her name? She's from
Yeah.
uh,
Vampire Diaries.
yeah, from Vampire Diaries. I don't know what her name is. And there's like a bunch of new videos. And then I noticed at the Lifetime channel has been playing Christmas movies since October. So I haven't like checked into that one, but I'll definitely go there to watch all the Christmas crappy movies that I want.
I did that last year. I like watched them all, so like I've seen most of them. Which I'm also excited. I think Hulu has some different Christmas movies on there too.
Yeah, they have Prancer, which that's a really good one. I think Leah would like that one.
Yeah. We've been watching all the Christmas movies. It's been
But
fun.
yeah, so anyways, we're just rambling on. So we will let you guys go and we will see you hopefully in 2 weeks.
Yes.
It'll be a month. So I'm not sure how that's going to work.
We can still just talk about what we're doing crafting wise, getting ready for Christmas.
As a side note, though, maybe we could do a in-person one because Madison and Bella, when Madison was home, she was knitting. She's like knitting on this never-ending blanket.
Okay.
Mitered square blanket, and then she started. I showed her that 10-stitch pattern where you just go in a circle. So she's been knitting on that.
Ooh.
And Bella was knitting, and they were like, "We should do a podcast called the Weasley Sisters Kids or something." And I was like, "Oh gosh!" And I was like, because I don't know if you notice, like all the kids watch these YouTube channels, and I'm like, I have a YouTube channel. We just talk about knitting. Like people, like they think that they can just get on YouTube and make money. Like at least my kids do, and I'm like, it doesn't work that way. But anyways, so I was like, well, maybe around Christmas time we could get together, and then our kids could like join us.
That'd be funny.
Know what they're crafting because our kids are crafty too. So
yeah.
We're good. But yeah, so randomness, that was totally random. But we will see you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Yes.
Maybe longer. But we'll see you guys later. Bye.